A warm welcome to Bethlehem Matriculation Higher Secondary School online classes. I am Binila, an English teacher, and the previous class we have learnt about the supplementary reader story After 20 Years, written by O. Henry. William Sidney Potter is his own name, and the pen name is O. Henry. And who are the characters here? Yeah, there are only two main characters. One is Bob and another one is Jimmy Wells, and another one character, a patrolman, a plainclothes man who is coming in a plainclothes man is another one person. Okay, so now we will go for the next paragraph. Do you remember the story already? Yeah, I have taught you the story. I have given the gist of the story also. Do you remember that? Okay, who are all the friends? Bob and Jimmy Wells. They are best friends. And what is the agreement between them? Yeah, after 20 years, they have to come and meet in the same place, right? Okay, whether they will be able to meet each other? Yeah, it is in the writer's part. We will see it in the later. Okay, so Jimmy and Bob was good friends. They planned to meet each other after 20 years. So now who is there at in front of the store? A Big Joe's Brady restaurant is a place where they have met each other before 20 years. Now Bob is waiting before the hardware store where Big Joe's Brady restaurant was there. Okay, recently it was demolished and now there is a new hardware store. So in front of that Bob is standing and he is waiting for his friend. So who is coming at the time? One policeman. He is coming with his club. That is what is meant by club? Taddy. Is it? Okay, with that he is coming there, and what he is asking before he is coming and talking to Bob. Bob is ready to recite all the story. What is that? They had an agreement with the Jimmy Wells before 20 years. They had an agreement. What is that agreement? After 20 years they will be coming and meeting in the same place. So he is waiting there. This is the agreement he said to the patrolman. So the patrolman was hearing all those things, and he is moving from that place and he wanted to do his own duty. So till that he was explaining about the Jimmy Wells. Okay, now take page number 28. Let me go for reading and telling you the remaining story. Take page number 28. Okay, so the paragraph 20 years ago tonight. Have you seen that paragraph? The first page, the last paragraph, it is that 20 years ago tonight. Okay, so that paragraph, let me read and continue the story. 20 years ago tonight, said the man, I dined here at Big Joe's Brady's with Jimmy Wells, my best chum and the finest chap in the world. So 20 years ago, the same day, same time, what they are doing? They have dined, means to eat. They came for the restaurant. What is the restaurant name? Big Joe's Brady restaurant. So in that place they came and they had their food at the restaurant. Jimmy Wells, my best chum. Chum means, what is the meaning of chum? A friend. He is a best friend of Bob. Jimmy Wells was a good friend of Bob. And the finest chap in the world. Chap means a man. He is a good man, a finest man. Chap means man. So a good man he is in the world. He and I were raised here in New York just like two brothers together. So they brought up in the place of New York. How they have brought up, like two brothers, close brothers, how they will be coming up in their lives. The same way they too also, Jimmy and Bob together, they have brought up. I was 18 and Jimmy was 20. The next morning I was to start for the West to make my fortune. So before 20 years, what was the age of Bob? 18 years old, and Jimmy was 20 years old. So now they are going to meet at Jimmy was 40 years old and he was 38 years old. They are going to meet each other. So now the next morning I was to start for the West to make my fortune. So now they have met each other in the Big Joe's Brady restaurant. They met each other, and this is the time for them to separate from the place of where Bob wanted to go for the other place. Bob is not ready to stay back in New York, and he is trying to go for his fortune. Fortune means to make money, to get some salary or something. He wants to go out of the place. He is not willing to stay back in New York. He is trying to go for the other places. You could not have dragged Jimmy out of New York. He thought it was the only place on earth. And well, we agreed that night that we would meet here again exactly 20 years from the date and time, no matter what our conditions might be or from what distance we might have to come. So now they have decided to go back to look into their fortune, but he could not change Jimmy Wells out of this New York. He could not call him out of this New York because Jimmy Wells thought that only New York is the place it is able for him to run his life, and that no other places are there, like that Jimmy Wells was thought. So he left Jimmy Wells in the same place, and Bob is ready to go out of this New York. So they have planned exactly in the same date, same time. They have to meet after 20 years. They have to meet in this same place, whatever they are, whatever conditions they are, however they are, they have to meet in this same place. We figured that in 20 years, each of us ought to have our destiny worked out and our fortunes made, whatever they were going to be. So after 20 years, we thought of how we will be. We will be in a good job, or we will be in a busy schedule. Whatever they have, their own destiny, however it is, their fate, however it is, what we are going to do? We have to come and meet in this place. If they are two friends, they will be able to come and meet in the same place. Where? Big Joe's Brady restaurant. Now what place it is? It is a hardware store. Okay, so they have planned and they are departing from the place. So who is hearing the story, everything? The policeman who came in between, and he is standing there and he is listening this all the things, and he is ready to move also. The next paragraph. It sounds pretty interesting, said the policeman. So who was hearing this story, everything? The policeman was hearing all these things. So he is telling it is very interesting to hear. So like this story we have never heard of, right? After 1 year they may coming and meeting each other. So this may happen, but 20 years is a long period. So we have never seen like this people. So he is telling it is a very interesting one. Rather a long time between meets, though it seems to me, haven't you heard from your friends since you left? So now as it is a long days, after 20 years is a long gap, right? So this time, have you heard anything, any news, any written messages or anything, have you heard of your friend, like that? The policeman is asking to Bob. So usually what we will do after we are departing from school lives, what we will be doing, you used to message your friend often, right? You will be calling them, or you will be giving a message to your friends often, and you will be talking to them. You will be talking talking about the past days, how you have enjoyed. But after 1 year, what will happen? Your talking or friendship may reduce. It is not reduced. The time what you are spending to your friend may have reduced. And the days will go by, what will happen? You will be less time you will be spending with your friend to chat or to talk. Okay, so now it is time, how many years? 20 years. Whether they will be able to continue their friendship with the phone calls or messages or some contact they may have. It is only a few persons may have, right? So here they are two friends, whether they will have or not, we will see in the next paragraph. Well, yes, for a time we corresponded. So what usually a few days we will be having a talking, we will be having a communicated. Correspondent means communicated. Yes, for few time we had, that is few years or few days they had the communication. Said the other. Said the other means who is the other here? Bob. But after a year or two, we lost track of each other. So after 1 year or 2 years, what happened? We have missed our track. We have not communicated, not contacted each other. We have went in our own way of job. And you see, the West is pretty big proportion. Proportion means the theory or system, a very big place, a very thing the West has made for Bob. how New York was not comfortable for Bob, so he went to the West place, and here what he's going to tell, the West was very comfortable for him, and I kept hustling around over it pretty lively. Hustling means very hurry, so it was not a lazy one, it was not a jobless place, it was very hurry place. So in the cities you might have seen, all people will be going for job, they'll be rushing, they'll be hurry, they'll have a lot of walks. So something they'll be running, right? Like that. The West made Bob also very hurry place. So he is telling his own experience how West made him to change himself. But I know Jimmy will meet me here if he is alive, for he always was the truest, staunchest old chap in the world. Staunchest means a trustful person. So chap means, already I told you, yeah, man. Okay, so here he is wanted to tell about Jimmy also. He was a very best friend, and not only very best friend, very truest friend. So if Jimmy is alive, only if he is dead he is not able to come. Otherwise, if he is alive, what will happen? Surely he will be able to come and meet Bob. That is, there is no any other option at all. So he is telling that he is a truest person and he is a good man in the world. And he will never forget, I came 1,000 miles to stand in this door tonight, and it's worth it if my old partner turns up. So he came apart from 1,000 miles as he went to the West. After coming from the West, 1,000 miles away, he went and he came back. So he is waiting in the hardware store. So there will be some sensible for his waiting. What will happen? If his friend comes again, it will be a very valuable time for him. So it will not be a waste time for him, as he came from the long distance, 1,000 miles away he came, and it will be a worth for his waiting. So the next paragraph. The waiting man pulled out a handsome watch, the lids of it set with small diamonds. So now the waiting man, who is the waiting man here? Bob. He is waiting in front of the hardware store. He has pulled out a handsome watch. That was a pretty watch for him. So he is pulling up his shirt and he is showing the watch. The lids of it set with a small diamonds. How the lids it was set up? With small diamonds it was set up. So by the person is wearing a costly watch or diamond watch, you can understand he is a wealthy person, right? So like that we can understand Bob, as he went to West place, how he is well sufficient. He has earned more and he is good enough to live. So there is in the watch there was sets of diamonds was there. 3 minutes to 10 he announced. It was exactly 10 o'clock when we parted here at the restaurant door. 3 minutes to 10 means 9:57. Okay, so that moment what they was doing, he is telling now at the exactly 10 o'clock we have departed from this place. Now it is 3 minutes more for the 10 o'clock, and when exactly 10 o'clock what they have done, they two also, Jimmy and Bob two also departed before 20 years, they have departed from this place. Did pretty well out west, didn't you? Asked the policeman. So the policeman is asking to Bob, the West made you very happy, whether it is a good place or not, like that he is asking to Bob. You bet. You bet means, yeah, surely it is a very good place, like that he is accepting that, you bet. I hope Jimmy has done half as well. So I'm thinking that as I have enjoyed the West, or I have earned much in the West, the same way at least half of that Jimmy also might have done it. He was a kind of plodder. Plodder means it is a very person who is working harder. Slow and steady wins the race, you will be telling, no? So for that example person is called as a plodder. So slowly he will be trying and he is a hard worker. So he will be able to come up in his life. Though good fellow as he was, not only a plodder, he is a good fellow also. Not only a good hard worker, normally he is a good person also. I have had to compete with some of the sharpest wits going to get my pie, which means intelligent people. So he had to compete. What he has to do, always in the city, how the people will be. There will be many great intelligent persons will be. He has to go with them in their own way of style. So that intelligent people, everyone was there in the city. He also, Bob also, what he has to do, he has to compete with them and he has to grow up. That is the way he has to go in West. And a man gets in a grove means a dull routine. In New York, it takes the West to put a razor edge. Razor edge means critical situation. So it will be, if a person is in the New York, is trying, for him what it is, best is a critical situation. He has to come up in a difficult situation to get more salary or more money in their life. Okay, so the people who is there in village or some places or normal places, what they want, their routine life will be very peaceful and very calm, but in the city life it is a very critical, right? So they have to compete with each other, they have to rush up, they have to run for their money. So this all the things was happening in the city. So he is telling that Jimmy will have a peaceful life, but in the best what it is that we have to run in the critical situation, we have to run up. Okay, the next paragraph. The policeman twirled his club and took a step or two. So again, how the policeman came with his sticker, he was twirling the club and he was coming and watching all the doors whether it is closed or not. In the first paragraph we have seen he was coming. The same way he started to twirl the club and moving a step or two, he started to move. As it is time for the policeman to move away, he is moving. I will be on my way. Hope your friend comes around all right. Going to call time on him sharp. So he's the policeman, what he's doing, he's trying to move away from this place because hoping that his friend will be coming. Now your friend, it is time for your friend to come. So let him come and you talk to him like that. He's telling and he's trying to move away. I should say not, said the other. I will give him half an hour at least. If Jimmy is alive on earth, he will be here by that time. So long, officer. So if the time the friend has not come, what will happen? He is asking, the policeman is asking to Bob. Bob is telling, I will wait till more. And at least I have waited till this many years for seeing my friend. Still half an hour more if I am waiting for my friend, it is nothing will happen, so I will be waiting. If Jimmy is alive, surely he will be able to come at this place at proper time. So long, officer. So this time is not problem for him, so he will be waiting still more half an hour, he is telling. Good night, sir, said the policeman, passing on along his beat, trying doors as he went. So the policeman is saying good night for the Bob and he is moving along his beat. That is the place where the policeman has to look after. The same place he is walking with his stick, twirling his club, and he is moving in the same beat, saying good night to the man. The next paragraph. There was now a fine cold drizzle falling. So that this climate, now who is there? Only Bob alone is standing there. The policeman also went away from the place. He is standing in the dark place in front of the hard store. He is standing. The climate is little changing. It is very cold, and how it is a drizzle falls. That lights, the rain is falling slightly, and the wind had risen from its uncertain paths into a steady blow. So the wind also, how it is, it has risen with a lot of puffs. Like snow falls or snow moving here to there, how it will be the same way. The wind also, it is moving from one place to the other. The few foot passengers are still in that quarter hurried dismally and silently along with coat collars turned high and pocketed hands. And in the door of the hardware store, the man who had come 1,000 miles to fill an appointment, uncertain almost to absurdity with a friend of his youth, smoked his cigar and waited. So now you can see the climate, how it is. The policeman also went in the dark place. The climate also started to drizzle. Only if a few person is moving here and there. So how they are moving means their collars, everything is up. The dress, collars, everything, the coat is up. Because it is a chill climate, it should not hurt them. So what they are doing, they are pulling their collars up and they put their hands in their pockets, as it should not, the chillness should not hurt them. They are putting here their hands in their pocket. And in the door of the hardware store, the man who had come 1,000 miles to fill an appointment. Who is the man who came from the 1,000 miles? Yeah, Bob is the person. He came 1,000 miles apart and he is waiting for his friend's appointment at the same place. And uncertain almost to absurdity. It is even a silly one. It is nobody will think that the person will come at the same time. Whether you are feeling that Jimmy Wells will be coming in the appointment time, yeah, you can guess it whether he will be coming or not. Okay, so this is silly absurdity means are silly or foolish things, whether they will be coming or not. It is not apt one. And with a friend of his youth, smoked his cigar and waited. So what is he doing? With the same way, with a cigar, he is waiting in the hardware store. About 20 minutes he waited, and then a tall man in a long overcoat with collar turned up to his ears hurried across from the opposite side of the street. He went directly to the waiting man. So after 20 minutes, not exactly 10 o'clock, after 20 minutes what came? One tall man, he is coming with the tall man with a long overcoat he is wearing, and his coat collar is turned up to his ears, as we want the coat collars has to hide the ears from the wind, it is upward, and hurriedly he is coming from the opposite side to the street to meet the person who is standing here. He is coming near to them. Are you thinking that that person will be Jimmy Wells? Yeah, you are feeling that he is Jimmy Wells. He is coming up after 20 years. He is coming to meet his friend. Are you sure that he is a Jimmy Wells? Okay, let us see in the lesson. Is that you, Bob? He asked doubtfully. So the Bob who is coming hurriedly, he is coming and asking to Bob, are you Bob? You are the person Bob, like that. He is asking very little doubtfully. He is asking. Is that you, Jimmy Wells? Cried the man in the door. So Bob also asking, are you Jimmy Wells? And that you are the person Jimmy Wells. He also cried, means talking in a short way or shouting louder talking way. Bless my heart, exclaimed the new arrival. So now by these two they are very happy. He is exclaiming, bless my heart, I am very happy to meet my friend, like that he is exclaiming in the new arrival of the person. Grasping both the other's hand, grasping means they are holding the hands with his own, they are holding their hands with each other, they are shaking their hands. It's Bob, sure as fate, I was certain I would find you here if you were still in existence. So Bob is very happy because of his fate, because Jimmy Wells is able to come and meet him again. So he is very happy. Well, 20 years is a long time. The old restaurant's gone, Bob. I wish it had lasted, so we could have had another dinner there. How was the West treated you, old man? So now as they are not young persons, they have become old. So he is teasing the old man, and he is telling now the old restaurant is not here, it has gone. The Big Joe's Brady restaurant is not here. So what happened? So if it is there, we might have had our food here at this time. As it is not there, we cannot have. And how the West has made you, whether the West place is very happy for you, like that he is asking. And how was the West treated you, old man? Old man, he is teasing, and he is asking how the West made you. Okay, in the next paragraph. Bully, it has given me everything I asked it for. So like very pleasantly will be scolding someone, no? Like that he is telling Bully, it has given me everything, whatever I have asked, everything the West has given. So West made me very happy. So he is telling, you have changed, Lord Jimmy. I never thought you were so tall by 2 or 3 inches. So Bob is telling that, Jimmy, you have changed a lot. There is a lot of difference in you. And what is the difference means? You have changed, you have grown up little more. 2 or 3 inches height, you have increased your height. So when after seeing your friends after many years, what you will be saying? You will be telling the appearance, how they have changed. They are old, or they are lean, or they are very fat, and you will be explaining their appearance, or you will be telling more things how he was before 20 years. So like that he is also telling Jimmy Wells become lot of changes, how he is become. He has increased his height 2 or 3 inches. Oh, I grew a bit after I was 20. So after 20 there will be little growth in the person, no? So after 20, when they met each other before 20 years is the time Jimmy was 20 years. So after that only he can grow 2 or 3 inches. So he is telling, after that I have grown up little. And doing well in New York, Jimmy. So he is asking, Jimmy, whether you are good at New York. Are you going in a good way in New York? Moderately means very average. I have a position in one of the city departments. So you will be telling, no, I have the position in the government job. You will tell, no, like that. He is telling, the city department, I have got one position. That is, my job is one of the position. What I have got it in means, in the city department, I have a position. Come on, Bob, we will go around to a place I know of and have a good long talk about old times. So he is telling, I have a position of a city department, that is my job, he is telling, but he is not exactly telling what the job Jimmy Wells is doing. He is telling he is working in a city department, and then he is telling, well, we will go around to the other places, many other places I know here, so we will move and we will talk about the olden days and the previous days, what we have enjoyed, everything, we will talk and we will come back, like that he is telling, and he is calling Bob along with him. The two men started up the street, arm in arm. Arm in arm means very close each other. They are putting their arms and hands together, means like that. They are very closely, they are moving. So as friends, how you will be happy to meet your friends, and you will be putting a arm in arm, you will be telling, very close to each other, yeah, moving. The man from the west, his egotism. Egotism means self-importance. West, who came from the west? Bob or Jimmy? Bob. So here what he is doing, Bob always telling about his egotism. Egotism is his own importance, self-important he is telling. So some persons will never listen about the others, what they are doing. Okay, they will be always talking about themselves, right? I am earning this much, I am good at like this, I am busy, I am working for this people, like that you will be telling about their own things. They will never ready to listen about other people. That is called egotism. So, enlarged by success, was beginning to outline the history of his, take the next page, history of his career. The other, submerged in his overcoat, listened with interest. So, what Bob is doing, always continuously he is telling about his own outline, that is how he become into the success person. About that he is telling all the outline of the story. He is telling about his job, how he has got it, everything. But the other person submerged, he is drawn little. He is not telling his own things much. He is quietly listening about the other person. Who is the other one who came with his overcoat? He is listening and listening about what the other person Bob is telling about that. He is listening very well. Okay. So the next paragraph is, at the corner stood a drugstore. Drugstore means medical shop. Okay. So now they could see that drugstore near to that, brilliant with electric lights. So till now where they are moving, they was walking from the hard store to the other place they are walking. There was no light at all. Now they are moving to that drugstore, that is a medical shop they are moving. So when they are moving near to that, there was that store, how it was decorated with the lights, everything, it was fitted. When they came into this glare, each of them turned simultaneously to gaze upon the other's face. So now what is happening, when they are coming towards the brightness, towards the store, what they are doing, each other they are facing. So now only they are looking into their face to also at the same time they are looking at the face. And because of the light, they could see each other's face simultaneously. And the man from the west stopped suddenly and released his arm. Who is the man from the west? Bob is the person from the west. So when he saw the other person in the light, suddenly he stopped there. For what reason? Okay, you can guess it. I'll tell you when the lesson is going to get over, I'll tell you who is the person. Okay, so what is the reason he is stopping here? He has some doubt in the other person, whether he is Jimmy Wells or not. Are you thinking that the person is Jimmy Wells? Yes, he is Jimmy Wells. Okay. Okay, so now you can see as it is, they stopped. The man from the west stopped suddenly and released his arm. So he has released his arm as he is having some doubt in the person. So he is releasing his arm. You are not Jimmy Wells. He snapped. Snapped means suddenly break. So he is telling, you are not Jimmy Wells. 20 years is a long time, but not long enough to change a man's nose from a Roman to a pug. So now he is telling, this 20 years time, what it is not a long time to change a Roman nose. So the previously, Jimmy Wells was having a nose. So you might have seen that some person's nose will be very sharp. Okay, so like this sharp nose some persons will have, that is called Roman nose, will be telling. So this 20 years a person's nose will never change into a pug. Pug means a small nose, not a sharp one. Okay, that it is not able to change short nose. It sometimes change a good man into a bad one, said the tall man. That is able to change a good person into a bad person, we can change. But the nose, a Roman's nose cannot change into a pug. You have been under arrest for 10 minutes, silly Bob. So what he's telling? So as the man who is coming near him, as telling Jimmy Wells, he is telling to Bob. So for under 10 minutes, what is that? You are under arrest. Bob is under arrest. Are you able to hear the story? Are you able to understand the story? For the 20 minutes, Bob is under arrest by near the person. Chicago thinks you may have dropped over our way and wires us. She wants to have a chat with you. So Chicago is thinking that have sent a message to arrest you because you are now a criminal. They have found that you are a criminal. So it is Chicago police has planned to arrest you and you are under arrest for 10 minutes. Going quietly or you, that is sensible. So if you are being quiet, it is a good way. If you are not being quiet, it is a bad thing for you. So be a sensible person and come in a quiet way. Now before we go on to the station, here is a note I was asked to hand you. So before going to the station, what is happening? I have given you a note. That is, the other person has given a note for you. So what is that? We have to give to you. I was asked to hand you. So that note I'll give to you. You may read it here at the window. It is from the patrolman Wells. So the policeman, first one person came, no? He is a Jimmy Wells, the patrolman who came previously. And he was asking all the story to Bob, no? That is the Jimmy Wells. He only gave a note. For what reason he gave the note? For a handover to Bob he has given. The next paragraph is, the man from the west unfolded the little piece of paper handed to him. His hand was steady when he began to read, but it trembled a little by the time he had finished. The note was rather short. So now when the man from the west, he started to open the note, the piece of paper he is what he is handed to him, that one he is opening and he started to read it. Before he is reading, his hands, everything is getting into shake. It is trembling little by, and the note was very short to read. What was the note is, Bob, I was at the appointment place on time. So the time when it was the appointment, 10 o'clock they planned to meet, no, that time. I also came and stood in the correct time, I came there. When you struck the match to light your cigar, I saw it was the face of the man wanted in Chicago. So when you have lit your lighter to make your cigar to light, no, that time I have seen your face. I have understood that you are the most wanted person from the Chicago police. So you are the wanted person to arrest her. So what he is doing, I understood that you are the person. And I could not do it myself, so I went around and got a plainclothes man to do the job. So as I could not do that, I am not unable to arrest my friend. So I called another one plainclothes man. Plainclothes man means who is not in a uniform. A patrol man who is not in a uniform, that person I called them for arresting. So like that, there was a short note of from Jimmy Wells. There was a short note. So could you understand about the story? Who is Jimmy Wells? Jimmy Wells, who came in the name of a policeman, patrolman, who came at the correct time at 10 o'clock. He came and met with the Bob, no? The same person only, Jimmy Wells. And actually, as in telling Jimmy Wells, one person came, the second person, he is a policeman, a plainclothes policeman. He is a person. As there was a long gap, the Chicago made Jimmy Wells in a good life. He was leading a good life, and he was earning very well in the city department. He became as a police, and he was good job, everything he was got. And when Bob went to the other place, where is the place? West he went. So that made him everything changed. Bad person he has changed. So the time between 20 years, one person can change into a bad or good. There is a chance for them. So here this West made him a very good person, and here it's West made Bob as a bad one, and Chicago made this person into a good person. So their friendship was very good, and this is the story. After 20 years, their friendship was very true, and they could not arrest each other. So there was a story. Are you able to understand? Yeah. Okay, now can go for the page number 31 and do that exercise, everything. That is the Roman letter. Second is the read the glossary, then go for the second Roman letter. True or false, you can do it. And page number 32 also do the homework. Third Roman letter, choose the right option, you can finish it up. So paragraph I will give you later in the one paragraph you can learn. You don't want to learn all the paragraph, 5 paragraphs you don't want to learn. Any one paragraph I will give you the summary of the story that you can learn. The remaining you don't want to learn, that is your wish. Okay. So next class we will meet. Thank you, students.